Thank you so much for clicking on my video. By doing so, I'll provide you with one of my biggest projects ever, the Ultimate Combo Guide. This video is divided into two competitive formats, singles and doubles. Singles covering most of the video, whilst doubles will be featured at the end. Each game format is divided into parts, which is further divided into subparts. Here is timestamps on where you will find every collaborator in this video. I've worked my ass off every day for this video to be as good as possible, so sharing this around will mean the absolute world to me. Thank you for watching and enjoy. A combo stands for combination and is a set of actions performed in a sequence, usually with strict timing limitations, that yield a significant benefit or advantage. In Smash, combos are separated into two types, true combos and non-true combos. True combos are combos in which the opponent has no escape options between each move in the combo. A non-true combo is therefore a combo that you're able to escape. The differences between these two combo types become very big the more advanced your combo game becomes. This is partly due to something called a string. A string is when you connect two non-true combos into each other. The string can therefore not be true, as it would then just be called a true combo. In high-level play, a common question occurs. Should I use my true combo to get some guaranteed percent? Or should I go for a combo that could lead to a string racking me up even more damage than the true combo could? This is a very complex thought process which I will explain further in the video, but for now, let's talk about characters and combos. Every character is different in their own respective ways. Usually, the heavy and slow character tends to struggle with comboing due to the lack of speed they have and the slow startup they have to link moves together. They do, on the other hand, have very lethal strings, as their hits are very powerful. The more combo-oriented characters are the ones that are fast with low end lag and low startup on their moves. Characters like Fox and Sheik, for example. These two characters have very different kinds of combo styles, though being some of the most combo-heavy characters in the game. Fox doesn't have any true grab combos, but his speed and amazing aerials grants him an extreme vertical combo potential. Sheik, on the other hand, has tons of follow-ups from a grab and can drag people horizontally across the stage with her loops and forward airs. We will discuss loops later in the video. If I were to rank characters after combo viability, here's the tier list for that. The S tier characters are the ones that have tons of combos in which you basically can improvise your moves and they will most likely link together. Learning these might be difficult at the beginning, but when you got the flow down, you should be good to go. The A tier characters are the ones with a little less combos than S tier, but of course has some notable ones that are very reliable. B tier is where the combo ability starts getting weaker, but this tier represents the ones with good combos but may have a lacking percent range, combo starters, or just follow-ups after a combo. C tier is for the ones that heavily rely on one combo or simply has an alright kit for comboing. D tier is when the comboing isn't that good, but they do have some tricks and maybe a grab combo or two they can pull off. E tier is the weakest of the characters when it comes to comboing. Every aspect of comboing becomes a struggle and they simply can't link together moves that good. An important thing to note is that some characters which are expected to combo good is placed low, like for example Sonic, but this is due to his moves not working properly as of the time I was writing this script. On the other hand, Donkey Kong and Rob, which is very big characters, are placed a little higher than expected due to them having their own unique attributes for comboing. If you wonder about my reasoning for each placement of the characters in this list, there will be a link to a thread I made on Reddit, fully explaining every character's placing on the list in the description. And of course, I'm open for discussion, so comment down below if something seems odd. I might be wrong in some areas, but I believe this is a good representation of such topic. Now to start explaining comboing in depth, I will hand the mic over to the amazing Choctopus, covering combo starters, combo extenders, and combo finishers.
Hi everyone, I'm Choctopus, and I like video games. And today we're going to talk about combos. So the combo process consists of a combo starter, combo extenders, and a combo finisher. These three factors vary from character to character, where one has tons of starters and a few finishers, and others have one starter but tons of extenders. Identifying your character's combo starter is the first step to comboing. So let's use Mario as an example. His common combo starters will arise from down tilt and grab. This is due to their angle and their frame data. The reason why I didn't mention landing up air up tilt is due to them being slightly more risky to use in neutral than down tilt and grab. Also, landing those two would be more difficult than trying to land a grab. When identifying your combo starters, the next step will be how to land them. Sometimes throwing out the combo starter with some good movement and spacing does the job, but other times it's good to know that there can also be moves that link into your combo starters. For example, let's take Mario again. A landing nair will often link into either a down tilt or a grab, so if you go into a fight knowing this, approaching with a landing nair could grant you a combo if the nair lands. A big mistake is to throw out your combo starters all the time in neutral. This might be very tempting for new players, but combo starters most of the time have bad range and will therefore be undermined by the opponent's spacing as well. Now that we've covered tips on how to land a combo starter, you want to learn how to continue them from there. That's where you bring in your combo extenders. Some combo extenders can be pretty basic or repetitive. For example, you can use several of Toon Link's up tilts at low percent, and it can also be a little more complicated, like Bayonetta's special moves linking together with her aerials to ladder the opponent in the air. The most important part of the combo is the extension. So this is what you need to practice if you feel like you're dropping a lot of your combos. But what is the best way to utilize the extension? Well, that's a very hard question to answer, but in a nutshell, your goal is to inflict as much percent on your opponent as your character lets you. You want to optimize each combo to the absolute limit so you can finish them with a lethal combo finisher. The most powerful characters when it comes to combo extending are Pikachu and Ice Climbers due to their loops and long-lasting combos, giving them a lot of time to adapt to DI and other escape options. And this is going to be explained more in detail later in the video. If possible, every combo should have a good finisher. Hard-hitting moves, long-reaching moves all fit the category, and a requirement for the finisher is to use the move that will deal the most damage for the current situation. For a character like Lucina, it's best to use back air after a neutral air as it does more damage than a forward air. You also want to stay away from using a finisher that will send your opponent towards the center of the stage. To optimize your combo game completely, knowing when to throw out a finisher instead of a combo extender is the key to success. When you're using way too many combo extenders and no finishers, it can lead into your opponent quickly getting back to neutral, as well as your combo extender getting staled. Let's take Sheik for example. If she only uses fair during her combos, they will start doing absolutely no damage. I mean, it's not like she does any damage to begin with, as well as not sending the opponent as far, but she could use back air or neutral air to mix it up. Therefore, knowing when to switch from a combo extender to a combo finisher really ups your combo game.
So now we've covered how to execute a combo optimally, but how do you deal with them on the receiving end? I'll pass the mic over to the wonderful Mockrock to explain combo breakers and escape options.
What's up everyone, Mockrock here, thanks for having me on. One of your most powerful options when escaping combos are combo breakers. Attacks with low startup that can, you guessed it, break combos. An infamous example of this in Smash is Luigi's neutral air, which comes out on frame 3 in Ultimate, the same speed as many characters' air dodges. Because of this, anything except a completely true combo will not only let Luigi slip out, it may actually put you in a very dangerous situation because of the sharp angle Luigi pops you up at. Your best bets against moves like this are to either stick to entirely true combos where your opponent has no chance to move at all, or try and bait them out. Bait out a combo breaker successfully and your opponent will be sitting there helplessly, waiting for your real attack. This counterplay to combo breakers doesn't make them bad by any means, but they do have their weaknesses. And in any case, many characters don't even have access to them. Thankfully, there are also 4 universal options you can draw from when you find yourself stuck in a combo. DI, SDI, double jump, and air dodge. Let's start with DI, aka directional influence. This technique is often a game changer when newer players discover it, but can be a bit tricky to commit to muscle memory. The basic premise is fairly intuitive. When you're being launched by most attacks, you actually have some influence over your character's trajectory based on the direction you hold the left stick. Mario's forward smash may always send you sideways, but will send you more diagonally, horizontally, further, or closer, depending on the position of your joystick at the moment when you're launched. There are also two key DI styles we need to distinguish between: combo DI and survival DI. Combo DI is, fittingly enough, the DI used when stuck in a combo and focuses on getting as far away from your opponent as possible to avoid follow-ups to their initial attack. Each character's combos need to be handled differently, but as a general rule of thumb, you'll usually be holding your stick away or down and away. Survival DI, on the other hand, emphasizes the exact opposite. This is what you use to keep yourself alive as long as possible and focuses on staying as close to your opponent as you can after being launched. The input varies depending on how horizontal or vertical the launch angle is. Mastering DI involves not only learning the nuances of each style, but also how to switch between them, seamlessly moving between combo DI when stuck in a combo to survival DI when you predict a combo finisher. Now, note the use of the word predict. These finishers are usually too quick for human reaction time, and this is where DI mind games come into play. Sometimes you may be expecting a combo extension and be hit by a finisher instead, which will usually result in you holding away from your opponent while being hit by a killing blow. The opposite of survival DI. Probably not what you want. DI improves through constant effort and awareness. Smash's training mode isn't particularly well set up to practice this technique, and while you can simulate some aspects of DI with a second controller, your biggest strides will likely come from focusing diligently on your inputs against a real opponent. Another option available to you is air dodging, either in place or directionally, each of which have their use. However, you need to keep your head up and remain unpredictable. While air dodges are a powerful escape option, using them on autopilot will land you in more and more horrible situations as the match goes on and your opponent gets a feel for your habits. You can also jump out of a potential combo, although for most characters this is their most precious resource and needs to be handled very carefully. If you get hit out of your jump in the middle of a combo and don't have any backup options, this is often one of the single worst positions you can find yourself in, and what should have been a simple punish can suddenly become half your stock. With no way to safely escape, your options are cut down to air dodging or throwing out a move, which means your opponent needs to play a very simple guessing game to put you right back into a new combo, edgeguard situation, or even stock loss. Now, that isn't to say that you shouldn't use your double jump to escape combos. In fact, for many characters, it's arguably their most powerful tool, but if you do go for it, you'd better make damn sure that you actually escape. The last escape option that we're going to cover is SDI, or Smash Directional Influence. SDI isn't a very intuitive concept, but mastering it lets you escape some multi-hit moves far earlier than you'd normally be able to. To perform this, roll your control stick back and forth in the direction you want your character to move as fast as you possibly can. With quick enough inputs, this allows you to push yourself in that direction during every attack in the multi-hit, hopefully far enough to escape the final blow by the time it comes out. While it's true that SDI is less powerful in Ultimate than previous Smash games overall due to metagame and programming differences, becoming proficient at it still allows you to escape from some otherwise terrifying setups, most notably Pichu's lightning loops.
The previous segment of the video covered combos at the practical and fundamental level. It did feature some complicated parts such as the combo DI and smash DI, but it mostly was very basic explanations of different combo scenarios. In this next part, PKBeats and Hazmat will talk more about the advanced part of comboing.
Hey there, PKBeats here. Combo priority is the key factor that separates the best players in the world with the intermediate ones. This is all about prioritizing what combo you will use based on stage control, percentage, stale moves, character size, and etc. In Smash, the best players tend to use combos that both rack up a decent amount of damage, while at the same time leaving them in a favorable position against the opponent. In this situation, Diddy Kong uses a down throw against his opponent. From here, he can either choose between a back air, sending the opponent off stage, or two up airs dealing more damage. The prioritizing will now depend on a few factors. Will I be able to abuse the fact that the opponent is off stage, or will I do better against him if he's above me? Which moves should I stale and which moves should I keep fresh? Do I know for a fact that the double up airs will connect? When you've put these questions up against each other, you pick the option you believe suits the situation. This is combo priority. Right now, the best players at prioritizing which combos they should use are MKLeo and Tweak. They're absolutely bonkers with their creative prioritizing and gets momentum a lot of times due to this. When talking about combo priority, stage control is one of the mentioned factors, as well as the stale factor, which we'll be talking about later. Stage control is a very important part of comboing, as it plays a huge part of the neutral. Sometimes it's much better to throw your opponent off stage rather than going for a combo. Being determined in doing your own combos has its weaknesses. It simply exposes a big weakness of your gameplay, being that you give your opponent easy ways to DI correctly away from your combos. So even though you can guarantee yourself a few more percent with a combo, mix up your gameplay by prioritizing stage control over percentage sometimes. Lastly, when it comes to combo priority, the stale factor can play a big role in determining if you kill at high percent or not. For example, characters like Ike, who both set up a lot of their combos and kill setups with neutral air, the usage of neutral air determines how early his kill setups will kill. Therefore, keeping such a factor in mind can change the whole game in your favor. Knowing that neutral air to back air is one of, if not the best kill confirm for Ike, you can maybe use forward air and up air at low percents to keep the back air fresh for high percents. You can also go more for his down tilt at low percent as a combo starter, and try to use neutral air more at high percent to keep the kill moves fresh.
When mastering your character's combos, you always need to keep in mind that combos will vary based on the opponent's size, weight, gravity, and damage, plus your own character's rage. This is why the top players of these characters are considered some of the most creative minds in Smash Ultimate. You also have to keep in mind that the opponent's character might have different ways to escape your combos. You need to recognize and respect your opponent's character's options and attributes in order to improvise on your follow-ups. Knowing your character in and out will help you improve your improvised combos and follow-ups, even in matchups that you have limited experience in. Being comfortable with the range and speed of your own character's attacks is very important when it comes to concocting creative follow-ups. It is also important to acknowledge the limitation of your character's attacks when looking to improve your offensive capabilities. Some of the best top players at getting creative with their offense are Void, Mars, Nairo, Mr. R, and Light. These guys have incredible character knowledge and near perfect control of their movements, granting them flexibility to improvise their offense. Characters that benefit a lot from creative offensive gameplay are Sheik, Joker, Chrom, Fox, and Ken. These characters all have some solid bread and butter combos to get the damage started, but their core strength comes from their ability to maintain their momentum when improvising. Earlier in this video, it was mentioned that non-true combos are escapable, but this is only if the opponent is aware of them or reacts. Conditioning with non-true combos at the start of a match can set up for big benefits later in the set. Conditioning, when applied to fighting games, is defined as the process of training or accustoming a person to behave in a certain way or to accept certain circumstances. Let's use Bayonetta, a combo-heavy character, as an example here. Say you hit your opponent with an offensive string that is escapable through DI and air dodging. Up throw, and then catch them off guard with a witch twist follow-up. Later in the match, the opponent can adapt to this by DIing and air dodging away from the witch twist. This is where recognition and conditioning comes into play. On the third attempt of your up throw, you could anticipate and try to punish the DI and air dodge away instead of going for the witch twist immediately. With your up throw and witch twist follow-up, you've taught the opponent that they can safely escape the witch twist by DIing and air dodging out. However, if you know they are going to avoid the witch twist with those options, you can anticipate their air dodge and punish with something stronger. After you successfully punish the air dodge away the third time, maybe the opponent will adjust, maybe they'll come down with an aerial or jump out of the way, but you need to anticipate their defensive options out of your offensive strings that are not true in order to keep your offense rolling. The final topic I'm going to cover in this video, very important part of Smash Brothers and fighting games in general, are your mix-ups. A mix-up is a term for when you change up an aspect of your gameplay in order to throw your opponent off guard. Being able to identify your opponent's habits and game plan will help with your mix-ups and conditioning. Now, an extreme example of a defensive mix-up is when you're trying to land from above with Zero Suit Samus. When trying to land from above, her down air will mix up the timing of your landing and give Zero Suit Samus a hitbox to defend herself on the way down. However, one of the downsides of Zero Suit's down air is that it is extremely punishable upon landing, so if your opponent anticipates it, they can shield and punish accordingly. Due to the polarizing nature of this move, you will get the most mileage out of it by using it sparingly and mixing it up with some of her other options. Thanks for joining me on this part of the video to learn more about combos and conditioning and all the stuff that makes Smash and all other fighting games fun. This has been Hazmat, and we'll be seeing you.
I could have covered Footstool combos in this video, but I have already made a full video on that. So if you're interested in everything to know about Footstool combos, have a look at that video. Link will be in the description or an annotation will be put up on the screen. Though Footstool combos are cool and all, there are some other tricks that can be covered when it comes to comboing. I'll hand the mic over to Wood from Pushblockgaming to talk about item combos and projectile combos.
Hey guys, it's Wood, here to talk to you about item combos and projectile combos. Now, item combos cover every item that can be used in competitive play. These include Link's Remote Bomb, Peach's Turnips, Diddy Kong's Banana, Mega Man's Metal Blade, Rob's Gyro, and many more. The beauty behind item combos is that they can extend combos in many ways as well as make new combos due to their high potential and possibilities. In competitive play, items are often Z-drop during combos. A Z-drop is basically using the grab button when you're in the air to just drop the item instead of throwing it. This makes the item have an active hitbox until it hits the ground. For many characters, Z-dropping and re-catching the item with an aerial can become extremely powerful. Just remember that every item acts very differently from one another, so knowledge on each and every one would serve you a big benefit when it comes to item comboing. Now, projectile combos are pretty self-explanatory in that they're combos that revolve around using a projectile. These combos often come in handy, and is something you should practice if your character allows you to. Projectile combos are a bit different in the way that you have to fully commit to them to make them true. Hesitating even a little would lead to the opponent escaping very quickly. The follow-up after the projectile hit should be ready even before throwing out the projectile at all. Some common examples are Ridley's Plasma Breath and Link's Boomerang. These are very powerful resources the characters have, but only when they fully commit to them. Many characters, like for example Samus or Duck Hunt, rely heavily on projectile combos, so knowing the knockback and speed of your projectiles is key to knowing how and when to also commit to them. My advice would be to go into training mode and start getting creative with ways to implement your projectiles.
A very cool and interesting part of Smash has always been the discovery and usage of loops, chain grabs, infinites, and resets. For this part, I will hand the mic over to the wonderful Evan Edits, who will guide you through it.
Thanks for handing it over to me. Like Frenzy said, I'm Evan Edits. If you don't recognize that name, maybe you recognize the name Prince Royale. And if you don't recognize either, I don't blame you, because I'm the most washed up Smash tuber out there. Regardless of whether or not you know me, if you like Smash, I recommend you check out my newest video, The Wolf Rant, after you finish watching this video. I can guarantee you any Smash fan will like it, unless you play Wolf. That's enough of me. Now, let's talk about infinites and resets. There are several forms of repeating combos in Smash. We have infinites, loops, and chain grabs. An infinite is when you execute a combo which is inescapable and in theory will work until 999%. These are incredibly toxic in terms of competitive play as they often become the center of the meta. Thankfully, in Smash Ultimate, there are very few infinites, and the ones that exist in the game are really situational. The most notable infinites are Diddy Kong's Platform Infinite and Ice Climber's Wobble. These two infinites were both popularized by the same type of soulless monsters that don't say goodbye to their pets when they leave the house. If you want to learn more about these deadly combos, there's already great videos out there covering both of them individually. A quick search on YouTube will do the trick and pull up what you're looking for. Next up is chain grabs. Chain grabs were extremely prevalent in Melee and Brawl especially. Fortunately, chain grabs aren't present in Smash Ultimate. This is thanks to the grab timer implemented way back in Smash 4. We'd still like to bring this term to light just in case a very unlikely update comes in the future. But you never know, we're looking at the same balancing team that gave a character 2 moves that can kill at 0%. Lastly, I want to talk about loops. Loops are similar to chain grabs as a repeating combo, but it stops working after a certain percent. Some loops only work at low percents, such as Pikachu's Nair loops, and others only work at mid percents, like Sheik's drag down loops. The combo potential and the amount of conditioning that comes from loops is absolutely nuts. So if your character has some loops, take a closer look at them, because they're very useful and semi-prominent in this game. Jab locks or resets is a form of creating both combos and kill confirms. A jab lock occurs when you send your opponent in a tech situation. They miss the tech, and you lock them with a lock move. A lock move is basically a move that lets you jab lock your opponent. Not every move does this, but if you're not sure which moves do, normally the lower knockback moves tend to do the job. Like for example, a jab, hence the name jab lock. In Smash Ultimate, you can only jab lock your opponent twice. As well, you have to punish immediately after. More precisely, you have to punish 20 frames after the lock. This is enough time for a lot of the cast to punish with a smash attack or a kill confirm. Some moves that put the opponent into a tech situation that could lead to a jab lock scenario are nairs and down tilts at mid percents and often aerials at low percents. Labbing some jab lock punishes might come in handy sometime. So take a look at what your character can do with jab locks, and that might help you expand your arsenal of combos.
As a big summary for comboing in singles, the importance of recognizing what combo starters, extenders, and finisher you have is fundamental. From there, implementing the mind games around them and using the entire kit to your advantage is key to high-level comboing. You want to find your character's strengths, abuse their movement, and optimize each hit to its absolute limits. The aim is always to mix up each and every one of your options so that you stay as unpredictable as possible. With practice, you can achieve all of this without even thinking about it. And the benefits of not having to think about comboing is that you can set your mind into other things, like for example finding patterns in your opponent's play. The key to success is practice, so take your time in training mode, and I'll promise you that will pay off. Lastly, remember not to go autopilot under your combos. Observe the opponent's options in DI so that you can adapt to it later in the match. After watching this, I hope you've gotten a wider understanding of the complexity of comboing and can implement a few things to your gameplay. Without further ado, I hope you will enjoy the next part of the video, which will cover combos for the doubles format. This part can be a little different from singles, so hang in there. So you either watch through the whole video or skip to this part due to some interest. Anyhow, thank you so much for doing so. In this segment of the video, comboing in doubles will be deeply discussed. But first we need to talk about the big combo difference in doubles as to singles. In Smash Ultimate, one-on-one combat has something called a 1v1 multiplier. This was newly introduced to the series and is basically that all damage is multiplied by 1.2 in 1v1s. This means that in doubles, everything is back to the 1.0 multiplier. Now what does this mean to the knockback? Well, knockback doesn't have a multiplier attached to it, though it is influenced by percentages, which means that since the percent is influenced, knockback will also be influenced. You won't notice this too much on 2-hit combos, but longer combos might simply not work since the percentage in doubles doesn't match with singles. For example, a move that does 12% damage in singles would do 10% damage in doubles. Knowing this, you should opt for team combos in doubles rather than solo combos with unfamiliar percentages. So now that you know this important fact, I'll hand over the mic to one of my best friends, Denizu, to talk about handovers and ping-ponging in doubles.
Greetings everyone, I'm Denizu, specialist into reading way too much into things and Kirby fan galore. In doubles, your combing repertoire gets a lot wider due to the fact that you have a teammate by your side, opening up a whole new realm of combos and tactics. Because of this, it's very important to learn how to work as a team, or more specifically, combo as a team. There are two general comboing types in doubles, handovers and ping-ponging. Handovers are the 1-2 combos in doubles. They start with one of the teammates handing over the opponent and the other punishing accordingly. These are very reliable in 2v2s and for kill confirms, as they are not very hard to execute and can be very fast if done correctly. The big part of team combos will be to reliably hit them, so throws that are very little influenced by DI are perfect for these kinds of setups. Other than that, stunning moves allow mutas disable and buries can also do the job very well. Ping pong is the other type of comboing. It consists of you and your teammate hitting the opponent back and forth with horizontal moves. This combo method can be very challenging to pull off in a 2v2, but it will yield great rewards if you can manage to do it right. With good execution, ping-ponging can lead to 70 to 80% damage or even a full stock. In a 2v1, this method of comboing is essential to practice. Usually what you do to execute it is to send the opponent to your teammate. Throws and horizontal sending aerials are most commonly used. This sends them perfectly to your teammate, which should send the opponent back with an aerial. Rinse and repeat the process of hitting the opponent back and forth until you feel like you should go for a finisher. And as always, try using moves that will constantly send the opponent in the direction you want.
So the final collaboration on this video will be covered by the legend himself, the Kirby main we all know and love, Legic. Ha! Why thank you, Frenzy. So what's your PayPal again? In doubles, combo priority is heavily based on two questions. Should I combo the opponent myself, or should I pass him to my teammate for extended combos? Usually, there are many things that are happening on the screen, and since you can't assure yourself that your teammate will extend the combo, you often go for your own combos. In play, you almost always want to toss your opponent to your teammate, but making sure your partner knows the opponent is coming is the difficult part. Some notable ways to assure yourself that your teammate is available is by speech, or when you see your teammate finishing a combo. His eyes will probably reset to center stage and see the opponent being tossed over. Through playing together a lot and building a synergy, this type of play will become second nature to both of you, making comboing a lot easier for the next time, for every time, for each time. Every single time you play, you will become better accustomed to each other. There's no doubt about it. You can do it. Your teammate can do it. All you need is one bond. One piece of trust. Remember to play smart as well in doubles. If you see your teammate in need of help, throw the opponent away from the situation and quickly go for the rescue. These are the most essential points for doubles. In Smash, the comboing meta of doubles hasn't been touched on very much, so Frenzy will be taking his time labbing and making more videos on this format, so stay tuned for that.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. This project took so long to put together, and for you to watch this whole damn thing, I truly appreciate you. If you don't mind, please take a little time out of your day to share this video. It will mean the whole world to me, I promise you. Thank you again. Have a nice day, and I'll see you soon.